to you. Good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. Won't you share with a friend or two? Good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Daring Dialogues. I am your host, Shantae Charles, and today is Wednesday, Relationship Wednesday. This is going to be a short form show today, but I wanted to make sure that I come on and gain some semblance of consistency. Many of you know right now that my family member is going through some health concerns, and so I am acting as temporary caregiver. So I cannot do right now long form shows because I have to be active and present and making sure that they are taken care of. So thank you for understanding at this time. Hopefully, we're going to develop a little bit more of a rhythm as the season goes on. Most of you who have been with us for this is now 14 seasons know that I like to be consistent and on time. And if I cannot do that, I will let you know in advance. So if you're looking by YouTube, you'll always see a notice on my page whether or not I'm planning to um, have to reschedule or resume or resume our broadcast. So, good morning to you. Today, again, is Relationship Wednesday. We have been reading from the book Drama Free, A Guide to Managing Unhealthy Family Relationships. I'm only going to read one section today because I do want to talk about a couple of things that are in the news before we end today's broadcast. So, we've been talking about thriving versus surviving, and I want to read this small section here today that says in dysfunctional families, change is taken personally. Anytime you are trying to make change for yourself and you are involved with a family that is dealing with some dysfunctions, sometimes people take the changes that you're trying to make in your life, sometimes they take those things personally. So let's read this section. Change can be seen as rejection even when it's for the better. It can threaten a fractured system because the insinuation is that since you're making changes, everyone else needs to change too. It's true, however, that when you change yourself, the systems around you will probably indeed change, or at least how you view those systems will change. When someone rejects you because of how you've changed, the language might sound like this. You think you're better than us. That isn't how you grew up. Why is it like that now? It used to be good enough for you. Why can't you accept things the way that they are? You're acting funny. You're acting strange. You're acting brand new. Even though others might take your changes personally, you don't have to take their rejection of your change personally. Remember that change is hard, and when someone is resistant to changing, they may criticize you for doing so. It takes a lot of courage to be open and honest about family struggles. Unfortunately, you can't force anyone else to be courageous. All right? So, I want to encourage you today if you are going through a change and you're dealing with people who are taking things personally around you, just understand you don't have to take their rejection of your change personally. You can keep on changing, you can keep on growing, you can keep on improving yourself. Now, a couple things I want to talk about very briefly, and then we're going to chop it up for about 15 minutes. If you want to discuss, you can join me over on IG, which is Daring Dialogues. That's our IG page. And we're going to continue the dialogue part over on IG. So if you've been missing the dialogue part, because when we shut off on YouTube, we continue, you can meet us on IG at Daring Dialogues is the IG page. All right, so a couple of things I wanted to just touch on that I've been seeing in the news. Number one, when it comes to relationship with yourself, please take care of your body. Please take care of your health. No one is going to be as concerned about your health as you are. I don't know how much I can stress that. There are one, two, three, four COVID strands out right now. Four. And one of those strands has zero symptoms: no cough, no sneeze, no fever, no itchiness, no stomach ache, none of that. Zero symptoms. And it can come upon you and hit you like a brick, and you're unable to move. So, wherever you are in these continental United States, I'm going to encourage you to get yourself some more N95 masks. Make sure you start wearing them again when you're out in public at public events, because the numbers are rising again like they were at the start of the pandemic. And there, I don't see any news reports about it, but I am talking to doctors who are telling me that this is going on in real time. So you may not see news reports about it, but it is happening. Um, and also, part of that is a lot of people who have had vaccinations in the past. Only about 50% of the people have gone back and gotten the latest vaccination. So people who feel like, oh, I'm immune, I've had those past vaccines or whatever, apparently those that immunity is wearing off. Okay, so if you're going to be at public events, I'm going to encourage you, put back on your mask, protect yourself, because these four strands are out here and they're not playing. Okay, some of these strands are the strand plus pneumonia. Okay, we're seeing a lot. I know in my communities, we're seeing a lot of sudden deaths and people not knowing what is going on. These people are young, they're under 50, and it's sudden deaths. I'm not going to say that it's COVID, but I'm just telling you what is going on right now, and you do need to be taking care of yourself. I have not stopped wearing masks since this pandemic began, because I know that people are not going to care about my body as much as I care about my body and my health. So keep yourself protected. Do what you can. Do what is within your power. Make sure you're doing, those practical hygienic things to do. Secondly, over the last couple of weeks, there have been lots of restaurant owners, black males, being gunned down outside of their businesses. People are saying they don't know what's going on. This has happened in a couple of different states. I'm going to tell you, remember what time we are in with the rise of white supremacy, with the rise of online hate, with the rise of these hate groups, with the rise of these hate groups showing up at people's towns and doing flash mob marching. This could very well be some issues of what Ida B. Wells recorded during her time, which was business owners were being attacked and unalived during her time. Okay, nobody can explain these gun downs of these people that were very very valuable in their community. These were not men who were, involved in a life of crime or doing anything, dishonest. They were running businesses, all three of them. It's been three so far. Young boy found in found with a rope around his neck. They're saying the police are saying suicide, but they're not cooperating with the family. The family is saying this is not suicide. I just want us to be a little bit more aware of the time in which we live. Are there are there times of joy in this time? Yes. Do we also still need to be aware of what is happening around us in the time in which we live, when hatred is being stoked at an unprecedented level? Yes. Yes, we need to be aware. Third thing, uh, the incident that happened, the second attempt on President number 45, former President number 45. This person sat around and waited for hours in a bush to do that. They want to know, how did that person get within 500 feet or 500 yards? I forget which one it is, yards or feet, of being able to do that. That's under investigation. Again, this person was a former Trumper. Um, what I have to say to that is if you stoke violence, don't be surprised when violence turns back on you. These are kind of like universal laws. What you put out into the world, you're liable to get it back. Um, so yeah, that's that. Also, the news of uh, Sean Diddy Combs being arrested this week, I believe, happened yesterday or the day before that. Um, I have not read the documents. I do plan to read the documents of the charges. I have not read them yet, but people are saying that they are pretty extensive and that there are lots of people that are being connected to his doings. Um, what do I have to say to that? Nothing at this point. I don't have anything to say to it at this point. I do know people are talking. I do know people are speculating. Um, I am not in that world, so I don't really have much to say about it except let's hope that justice is served for whoever is victims within this. I think a lot of times people sensationalize things and they don't think about the victims that are involved and that are going to be exposed as this case goes on. All right, I think that's um, everything I wanted to cover that is in the news. I think I'm trying to think. I think that's it. Yes. So take care of yourself, take care of your body, and I'm going to open it up for conversation. We got to end at 11:30. I can't go longer than 11:30 today. If you want to join us for the conversation part, please make your way over to IG. If not, I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For Thinking Thursday, we'll be looking at the book on forgiveness. Be well and be light.